Oh, Corey, you did it again. Well, to be exact, you did it back in April 20th, 2018. I'm just finding the clues now. As you guys know, the biggest and most obvious secret left for us in God of War 4 was the following.
Somebody just called the serpent.
Ever since then, fans have been obsessing about it. I even proposed a theory coming to the conclusion that Modi did it, but in it I might have said a few wrong things. But we have evidence that these gods don't have easy access to other realms, since Baldur, the most beloved gods of Norse mythology, has to fight Kratos for his Bifrost to travel to Jotunheim. It is safe to make the assumption that these three gods have been locked in Midgard for hundreds, even thousands of years. Yeah, let's move on. Regardless, I'm back at it, and this time I think I have a little more evidence, in the form of, you guessed it, an image on the wall. The image of a man blowing a horn can be seen on the side of every travel tower found in the Lake of Nine. Immediately the first thought that comes to mind is good old Heimdall. Not only is his presence in the series expected, given that he plays such an important role in Ragnarok, but he's also confirmed in the Alfheim mural. But could this man be Heimdall? I don't think so. Just because he's blowing a horn, it doesn't mean it's the famous Gila horn. This one is curved and has red patterns engraved on it. The horn in this image is identical to the one used to call Jormungandr. So if they're both the same, we can come to the conclusion that Heimdall did not blow the horn because the purpose of this horn is only to call Jormungandr, and as we know, he kinda hates all Aesir gods. Now that we know that these are in fact the same horns, we have to answer the most important question: who's the man blowing it? Let me quickly dismiss Mimir as a candidate. Yes, I know he's the only one we see blow it, but I don't know how he does it though, without lungs. But it's true, so far he's the only one who has communicated with Jormungandr. But there's a problem. The man on the image has a body, and no, I don't think the mysterious measurements Brock performed on him were meant for a new body. As we know, Brock and Sindri only deal in weapon making, with the exception of that squared key looking thing. Also, Mimir serves as a portable tour guide. I predict he'll always be just ahead. That's what makes him unique to other characters. But don't worry, I'm planning a Mimir video trying to explain more about his purpose in the series. But now that Mimir is out of the picture, literally, I want to propose two theories as to who the man in the picture is. First in line is Tyr. I mean, he looks like the other depictions of him, but most telling is what we know of him. His story is scattered throughout the game in the form of main missions and Mimir's optional dialogue. We know he has visited different mythological places in the world like Greece, Japan, and South America. He also helped the giants escape Midgard despite being born on the Aesir team of gods. This of course did not sit well with Odin, so he killed him for treason, or at least that's what they're telling us. I'm not buying for a second the story the Mural is giving us, simply because Mimir was also charged with treason and was in prison in Midgard, so why would Odin kill the person who knew the giants better than anyone? I really think Tyr was captured by Odin with the purpose of extracting information about Jotunheim. His knowledge about the realm of the giants can also be tied to the horn in Midgard. Essentially, he and the giants became best buddies, allowing him to learn their language, just like Mimir. So it doesn't come as a surprise if we were to escape Odin's torture to talk to Jormungandr, a giant. But just because we see him summoning Jormungandr, it doesn't mean these two events are the same. We know Jormungandr appeared in the Lake of Nine 150 winters ago, and Tyr was captured by Odin afterwards. The image on the wall might be depicting a past event in which Tyr spoke to Jormungandr. Maybe that conversation inspired him to help the giants escape. Since 50 winters after Jormungandr arrived, the Jotunheim tower disappeared. So bottom line, those are my tiered theories. It could be an image from the past, or it could be an image from the future. But let's be honest, a theory from the future sounds better. So let's tackle the future Atreus theory. The first time I uploaded my horn theory, my comment section was filled with comments saying it was Atreus from the future. That's because, as I've said before, time is finicky in this game, and we know Atreus hasn't reached his full potential, so time travel might be on his list of powers. But how can I tie him to this image? Well, as I've said before, I'm 100% sure the horn in this image is the one used to call Jormungandr, so that much I know. And the man in the image looks like Tyr, but there's a little interesting detail. The man in the image has the horn wrapped around his shoulders. This wouldn't be a problem if it was smaller, but as we see in the actual horn, no man is big enough to wrap it around his shoulders, unless he's a giant. And who's the only giant we know who can communicate with Jormungandr?
Look! I have an idea!
Boy? Well done, boy.
I'm not saying Atreus will literally rip the horn from Tyr's temple. I think as we come to the conclusion that a giant man is blowing the horn, Atreus becomes our main candidate, because as he said before, not all giants are giants, it's just a race, and he fits the bill perfectly.
Giants are just a race, like elves and Holgerfolk. It doesn't mean they're big.
What of the world serpent?
Okay, in that case, giant also means big.
But like I said before, I'd really think it could be either Tyr or Atreus from the future. What do you think? Perhaps you think it's someone else? Leave some comments below to engage in a fun and nerdy conversation. On a side note, I think this is my last video before I reach the 10,000 subscriber milestone. And you know what that means, so leave a like and share the video to get there faster. And hey, if you like God of War videos, consider subscribing. And that's it for today. Thanks for watching. Goodbye.
Why is he doing that?
Odin had that statue made in honor of Thor. And seeing as the world's serpent absolutely abhors the fat dauber, he was probably sick of looking at it.
But doesn't that hurt?
Well, he and Thor have a bit of an unpleasant history between them. Or they will, anyway. So I guess waking up to see it was worse than the thought of lumps of solid stone passing through his gullet. You want me to ask him?
No.